Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Hello, and welcome to I've Survived Home Safety Edition. I'm your host, Trey Cumby, and today we're talking about home safety. We have with us Laura. Laura, thank you for coming. We're glad to have you here. And today we're going to be talking about a time whenever Laura was in her house and things got unsafe. So, Laura, can you please look into the camera and tell the camera exactly what happened?
Well, Trey, I was at home with my kids frying chicken one morning, and as I was cooking the chicken on the stove, I got a little distracted by my kids. I did manage to get the chicken out of the oil, though, but I forgot to turn off the heat after I placed the pot back on the stove, on the same burner that I was cooking
One
on.
second. What kind of oil do you cook your fried chicken in?
Well, you know, there are different kinds of oils, but I think this time it was canola oil.
Canola oil.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, please continue. I was just curious.
Yeah, sure. Well, I went off after one of my kids running after him in another part of the house, and I'd forgotten all about the oil. Well, a few minutes later, I was in another room, and my 3-year-old son came to inform me that the house was on fire. So I ran back to the kitchen, and it was indeed on fire. The cabinetry was burning, the fire had spread to the range above the stove, and so there I was, really panicking. I did manage to put out the fire, and right after the fire got put out, the smoke alarm went off. We did manage to escape with our lives.
Wow. That is a harrowing story, and I'm so glad that you got out alive. You and your family are safe. Could you tell us anything that you might have done differently, knowing how things went, if you had to cook chicken again?
Well, as a precautionary measure, I think it's important to have a fire extinguisher. But first and foremost, I think that just paying more attention in the kitchen and not letting myself get distracted.
The distraction was the issue here, folks. I think any time we're dealing with anything hazardous, being distracted is always a problem. Would you cook chicken again ever?
Well, you know, I thought about it. I think that fish actually might be a little more healthy.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Laura, and thank you, folks, for watching. Again, remember to be safe and never become distracted whenever you're dealing with any kind of hazardous material. Who knew chicken could be hazardous? Again, I'm your host, Trey Cumby, and this has been I Survived Home Safety Edition. Have a good night.